Okay, so this is going to be my 25th day of Zone 2 training and 10K a day. So I've had 25 days and I have missed 3. One, I had the stomach flu. Another one, I was racing all day. And no, that's it. I think I've only missed 2 days. So what I really want to drive home is the importance of Zone 2 training. When people think about getting faster, they usually imagine sprint intervals or going all out up a hill, or what you see on TV, just completely gassed. My biggest improvements do not come from pushing harder. They actually come from slowing down, and that's why I focus on Zone 2 training. And I've gone over this in videos before, but I'm doing this myself to show you guys that I'm not crazy. The last few years, I didn't do much training. I just kind of rode my dirt bike. But this year I decided, okay, I'm going to try to buckle down. I want to prove to everybody that Zone 2 training is the most beneficial for riding a dirt bike. Again, what is Zone 2 training? That's a heart rate range where you can still hold a conversation. For me, that's roughly 115 to 135. I will use the Phil Maffetone method where you up at 5 based on your fitness. I think I'm more fit than your average person. So I do kind of hover around 140 sometimes, but I try to stay in an average of around, 120 to mid 130s. And if you look at my data, almost all my daily 10Ks were right in the Zone 2 range. It feels slow at first. Like the first couple days I ran, they were like 13-minute miles. It was very slow. But it trains your body to burn fat for fuel and builds endurance base like nothing else, really. So how did it show in my results? Okay, as you can see on the graph here, when I started my 10Ks, I was in the 70-plus minute range, with heart rates often spiking higher. By staying disciplined in Zone 2, my body adapted. So as I adapted, you can see the gradual decline in my times, but my heart rate staying lower as I get faster. So I'm now running the same distance faster, under 60 minutes in a 10K, and my heart rate is lower at the same faster pace. And that's what I'm trying to drive home to people. This teaches your body to be an endurance engine. It'll allow you to just continually go faster at a lower heart rate, and it will not be as taxing. If you always train in that Zone 4, Zone 5, you're actually going to gas out worse. I mean, there is a time and a place for that extreme training sometimes, but most of our Zone 4, Zone 5 should probably be on the dirt bike. But what you'll notice is the more you do Zone 2, the lower your heart rate gets while you're riding, and it actually becomes way, way more manageable. You get faster at an easier effort. Okay, so I want to go over why this matters for just everyday people and not just athletes or racers like me. This is not just for a pro athlete. Zone 2 training improves your mitochondria, boosts fat burning, and builds endurance without beating your body down. That's why, even while I'm training for motocross and running every day, I'm not wrecked, I'm not destroyed, I'm getting fitter, lighter, and faster. And so what you can see is on some of these runs where you see like a downward trend, but then you see a slow run, I am purposely running slow that day just because of a little soreness, or I'm just kind of giving my body an active recovery to just get back in. But you can see after that slow day is usually when my PRs come out. So it's kind of, I didn't mean to do it that way, but it just seems to be happening that way. So if you're just getting started or coming back after years off like me, I haven't ran for about 15 years. Don't think you need to kill yourself with every run, every bicycle, every row session. Just slow it down. Stick to Zone 2, invest in a heart rate monitor, and watch what happens. You just have to be patient, right? Or patient. You have to be patient. Your body is designed to adapt. And that's like when I started this, I started it to basically prove that, you could run through injuries. And when I started this, my knee was my complaint. My knee does not bother me at all running anymore. You just have to go in the right zone, stick to the Zone 2. You're not going to thrash yourself. You're not going to border on that the chance of getting Epstein-Barr or something like that because you're not taxing your body really hard. Okay, so now I'm going to try to break down this graph a little better. All right, so like I said, 15 years of no running. Thought my body was beat up from injuries and time, but I decided to test it. 10K every day, every single day, unless, something came up. But so far, I have not missed more than one day in a week. And I'm hoping this may start to motivate some of my dirt bike racing buddies or just some people to get off the couch and start doing stuff, start living a healthier lifestyle. All right, when I started my runs, my 10K runs were really hard. I was over 70 minutes. My heart rate was spiking. Every step felt like my body was fighting me, pretty much. It was hard to just make my legs move. So if you look at the runs and you look at the blue, you can see where I started. Over 70 minutes and then, gradually down till the sixth day. That was a 11.5 mile run, and that's why it took so much longer. But then you can see after an 11.5 mile run, I PR'd the next day. All right. And then so the 11.5 mile run and then the PR, I kind of took it a little slower the next day. But then the next day, I pretty much matched my PR. Then I matched it again. And then I slowed down a little bit for a couple days because I was really trying to push it. But the one thing you can notice there in the middle, the heart rate is staying lower. So that is the benefit of the zone 2. And when I say push it, I do not mean go over zone 2. I am staying within zone 2. Not every run is smooth. On September 25th, you can see I had a really slow run that day. There was an older gentleman who fell in the middle of the street. I had to stop my run and help him. But hey, that stuff happens. All right. And so the next thing I'm going to go over is weight loss and waist measurements running in this fat burning zone. But yeah, you can see continually getting faster, but I do have some slow runs in there, but continually getting faster. Okay, so you can see where I started, and I actually started before the 5th. I want to say I started right after Labor Day. I started with a 40-inch waist. It was right when I got home from the Loretta Lynn's motocross race. I was 220 pounds. I really felt like garbage. Just felt like I needed to do something with my life and get in better shape. And then you can see in a matter, like right when I started running, I had like an insane weight drop. It was like an 8-pound weight drop. I was like, holy cow. I mean, it dropped so quick. But this is what catches me up sometimes. And this is why a lot of people give up is nothing in life is linear, right? Weight loss is not going to be linear. Progression in a sport is not going to be linear. You're going to have dips and valleys and high points and low points. And the same thing with a weight loss graph, right? Like it's like with dirt bike racing. Sometimes we get fast out of nowhere and then sometimes we struggle for a month and we don't understand what's going on, but that's life, right? You got dips and valleys and everything. So initially, from before the 5th to about the 15th, I was going down, but after that 11.5 mile run, I had a weird weight spike where I went back up to almost 212, and then I just kind of hovered around 211, 210, 211. And then I finally dropped back down to about 210, which it wasn't as low as I was, a week before that. But then on the last couple days, I dropped below to my lowest weight. I had 2 days of 209. And so that first weight loss, I mean, if you look online, you're going to see a lot of stuff about water weight loss. So I'm pretty sure that was a water weight loss at the beginning. That wasn't fat. As we go from about, September 9th to September 25th, that's more of your average weight loss, what it's going to look like, right? So I'm weighing myself every day, trying not to get crazy with it. But one of the reasons that I know that this running program is causing me to lose fat is I've lost 2 inches off my midsection. And, I do feel clothes are fitting a little looser. And I'm going to just keep pushing through this. So, yeah, I've done this for, let's see. So it's saying September 3rd to September 26th. I actually started on the 2nd, but close enough. So 25 days of this. This is where I'm at. Lost some weight, a decent amount of weight, improving my fitness. And let's go over, and if you're not a dirt bike racer, you're not really going to care about this. But riding my dirt bike, how much better I feel. I did 3 20-minute motos the other day in 100-degree weather, and I was hot, but I was not gassed at all. It is really improving my aerobic engine on my body. So, the results, the graph, I'm trying to make it as easy as I can for you guys to see the improvement. It works, and this is only 25 days, so really stoked, Like they say, 1 day at the gym, you can't notice a difference. 2 days at the gym, you can't notice a difference. 100 days at the gym or working out, you're going to look like a different person. So, be patient, push your way through it. And, like they say, trust the process.